Can anyone catch them, do you think?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, unbelievable. We didn't expect that.
I thought you were going to ask me about the game. Okay. Yeah, as you see him, he's here. There are still a few formalities to get everything concreted, but really happy to have him. I know the player really well. He's an exceptional footballer, and he's someone that is going to bring as well another competitive edge to that dressing room.
There's been lots of talk about him playing midfield or left back. I mean, where do you envisage him?
Both. He can play in both. He was a natural number 10 early in his career, and we converted it into a left back, which can do a lot of things that we want in our way of playing, and that versatility is something that is going to be important for the team, because we have other players in that position that are more specific fullbacks. So really happy.
Hi everyone. So welcome to another episode of the Gooners podcast Scouting Report. Bob has been doing an excellent job on this, and we have a special guest today, Patrick from True City Fan YouTube channel, and on Twitter you guys could follow him. Many of you have suggested him to us to talk about the Zinchenco. Welcome, Patrick. Welcome to the show.
I'm good. Thank you for having me on the show, guys. Is it VJ?
Yes, VJ.
VJ. Okay, VJ and Bob. Okay, thank you for having me, VJ and Bob. I like the backgrounds, especially VJ. It looks like you're outside the Emirates already.
It's just standing outside waiting for Zinchenco to come in.
yeah, that's what you can say.
Hopefully. But before we start, Patrick, we would like to congratulate you on your 1K subscription. I think you've grown past 1K the last time I looked at it, and we are happy to see someone like us grow into this space.
I didn't even look at it. I haven't looked at it after 1K. After 1K, I was. That's it. I was just. That's
modesty,
cool.
people. Modesty, people. That's why we have Patrick in our group.
No, I have been at work. So that day since the 1K thing, where I said we reached 1K, we did the show. I did another show. I never looked at the thing. All I was looking at, all I saw is 1K. So if it's gone to point, then that's a good thing. Now it's kind of the other side. Yeah.
Massive congratulations.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And for all the listeners, do like, share, subscribe, and comment on us, and also follow Patrick in the True City Fan TV fan channel, so that you get to see how a championship winning team is run a lot. To start off with the discussion, Patrick, right? Like we know, as a Premier League fan, we know Zinchenko, right? We have seen him play and all those things. But from a City fan, like what do you see as a player? Like, I know he came to you as a very young kid, and he is like now what, 24, 25. So give us like what is the
20.
give us like a player profile kind of thing.
Basically for me, as you say, he came, I think it was in 2016 when he came to City, and then we sent him to I'll start from there, because I want you to see what sort of player he is. I want you to understand why Zinchenko is different. I want you also to understand why, regardless of the fact that he sits on the bench, the City fans are sort of hurt and crying for him not to go. He came in, I think it was around July. I remember July because it was the time when we were going for preseason. I think we took him away for preseason, and then we sent him to PSV. And when he went to PSV for the sort of loan, it didn't go so well. Some of these teams, they promise like big teams like City, or even yourselves, Arsenal, I'm pretty sure, you're going to play your player. Then they never gave him a chance. Something happened, which it's never happened at City before. I don't think anything like that has ever happened, where a player goes out on loan, right? And as I said, he came in as an attacking midfielder. He was a left winger, believe it or not, a left winger. Zinchenko was a left winger. He can also play as a number 10. He can play as one of the CMs. He can also play as a DM sometimes, as a defensive midfielder. He's very good at defensive now, more because of playing as a left back. He was never a left back.
Mate, sorry. just to interrupt you there, you don't. We've already agreed the fee, I think. So I know you're praising him quite a lot, but by mentioning all these things, yeah, his value is just gonna blow up seriously.
Yeah. No, don't worry about that. But look, like, because what I was also about to tell you is, I'm trying to build up so that you guys can see what sort of player you have. And the reason why Arteta was fighting for him since June is because this kid, you can see this, he comes in from Ukraine, right? Things in Ukraine, even that time, were not great, apparently, according to rumors. We took him away from Ukraine. He was the wonder kid from Ukraine. Between Russia and them, they were praising him. It's Zinchenko. He came in. I remember he played as a left winger because he can play there. And that's where he was playing in his other team. And he comes in for 1.2 million or 1.7 million, if I remember correctly. And people were like, I was like, the kid from Ukraine. But at the back of my head, I was like, City, we're not going to see him for a while. But there was something, people were hyping him. A lot of newspapers from Russia came, this guy is the best thing that is coming out of Ukraine. And then Pep played him, Pep, he picked who he had to pick. Then I think there was no position for Zinchenko. There was a lot of players that time that were there, and he was a young kid. I'm pretty sure Pep would have never taken this young kid and say, you know what, I'm taking you instead of this. There was a lot of left wingers. That time there was Sane. Sane just stepped in. So that's what he was competing with if he came in as a winger. Then went to PSV, things didn't work out. The newspaper said Zinchenko is returning to City. He's not happy with his loan. And in my head, I was like, well, a lot of people haven't been happy with their loans before. And guess what happens? You get shipped out again, or they'll just sell you. Something which has never happened at City. If somebody corrects me, go ahead, but I've never seen this before at City. Zinchenko said, I want to stay. I don't know how he convinced Pep. I don't know if Pep admired that sort of mentality. I want to stay. And I was like, that time when I was like, what's this kid? Why is he demanding I want to stay? To do what? Like what who is this kid? You know what I mean? I know he's a wonder kid, but who is this kid? It's like, I want to stay to fight. I don't want to go on loan. Then it was reported by Sam Lee, I think so. That's the other guy who reports for City, or somebody reported that. And then he stayed at City. And when he stayed, he was just around the club. Like, few times he played with the youth teams. I remember a few times just around the club. And I was like, what's going on with this Zinchenko kid? Then Fabian Delph was turned into a left back. Then Zinchenko, then I remember Zinchenko was tried as a left back. Oh, it was a disaster. Things did not go so well. Obviously, the kid had not played for a while. He was being left in reserves. It was one of the cup games. And then I was like, why don't you just play him as a midfielder? Because there's rumors that he can play as a midfielder. Then apparently Pep told him, you're not too fast to play as a winger. Because that time, remember, we had Sane and Raheem. He told him that you're not too fast to play as a winger. Then maybe Pep was thinking that I'll play him somewhere. Because believe it or not, guys, you're going to laugh. Do you know that Pep tried Foden as a left back? Man is crazy. He tried Foden. I remember Foden played left back. Because, he always wants, Pep loves technical players to be his fullbacks. He played Foden, it didn't work out. Then I remember Zinchenko was tried after Fabian Delph left, but he was also trying. Then somehow Zinchenko started improving, and boom, Zinchenko started being the guy who's reliable as a left back. And even when Mendy was there, people were like, I'd rather see Zinchenko at left back. Do you know what I mean? But this is when Fabian Delph
Mendy was almost a sure shot starter, right? Back when he was playing.
He was Mendy. We tried. Let's not lie. We tried. They tried to play him multiple times, obviously because of the 50 million. They tried, and you were being like, people will tell me, oh, he was great. Yes, he was great few games, but somehow, regardless that he was very good at attacking, he was very bad at defending. Even Zinchenko, who was never a left back, looked more settled as a left back, and you could say, I'd rather play Zinchenko, a 1.7 million kid from Ukraine. So that's the mentality that I want to paint you guys. That's what I want to tell you, that this kid has always had this mentality that I want to fight. Let's not forget, Wolves came with a 12 million bid last season. He told Pep, no, I'm willing to fight. And guess what? He was very crucial for us in the Champions League against PSG. He defended against Messi and still survived. They decided to switch and put Mbappe at him, Neymar at him. The kid still survived. He was crying after the PSG. People make fun of him that he cries, but at the end of the day, he's very passionate. And people should remember this. He's one of the lowest paid players at City. He was 2K a week, 20K a week, 20K a week, and bought for 1.7. Your country was never great when you left. Your club, I don't know, was going through financial issues, and you are playing in a semi-final in the Champions League. Why do you think he cries? Because Zinchenko has achieved things that people would like somebody in that, like somebody like a Bruno Fernandes, somebody like a big name, like, you know, like Lacazette for you guys. Those are the things Lacazette wants to achieve. But somebody like Zinchenko, who was bought for 1.7 million, and people thought this guy is going to go on loan and finish, has ended up becoming a good left back. And what amazed me is this. I've had conversations with people when they always say bad things about Zinchenko. I've said, I think this kid, when he plays as a left back, if we look at him on stats, I know that stats are nothing because we have two eyes. I also like eyes. But I was like, I watch him. He actually plays better than some of the left backs that are natural left backs in the Prem. Guess what? Was I surprised when they came with when Sky Sports came with a whole all-time stat and he's beaten Tierney and Tavares? I was like, I told my friend at work, I was like, I told you. I was like,
yeah, I think Tavares anyone could beat any day.
yeah, but you get my case. So that's the player you're getting. You're getting somebody who fights, and you can admit yourself at Arsenal. You need fighters, but not just fighters like Xhaka, who kicks somebody on the chest. No, you need somebody like Jesus. Both of them are the same. They are all kids who came from somewhere. Both of them are very passionate. When they lose a game, Jesus and Zinchenko will drop tears, but they're not just doing it for acting. They get hurt because both of them always put 100%. And I've never seen a time when we've been in the Champions League against Madrid or a big team, Zinchenko and Jesus always give it all. And you start looking at the big ballers in our team and say, look at Jesus and Zinchenko. We bought them one for 18 million, one for 1.4. You're a 40 million player, and they seem to be putting more heart. So that's the player you're getting. He's always been a fighter ever since he came at City. And I was laughing too. Some of your fans will laugh when he comes and say, oh, he wants, maybe if he tells Arteta, I want that midfield position, I bet somebody will be laughing. But trust me, Zinchenko looks like a guy who, when he says, I want to fight for something, he wants to fight for something. So that's the player you get. I don't know if I've answered your question at all.
Oh yeah, you have answered. But you have answered, and you have also given me a question in my mind, right? Like, yes, he is you guys had all these like Mendy's and all these like, expensive left backs. And so, yes, that would answer why he has not played like more than 20 games a season, right? He has always played around 20 games, 15 games last season. So those kind of things. But the other part of it is like, yeah, you guys have Zinchenko, whom you are praising so much, but you are still going ahead and buying like Mendy. You are now going for Cucurella. So if he is so valued, why is City always trying to get someone else? That's a question. As an Arsenal fan, I'm going like, if he's so good, why are City trying to upgrade always?
Because people have to remember this, right? I think I was saying the same thing. I wrote a status today and I was arguing with a few people, and somebody decided to come in and argue. Then later on, they started speaking to me nicely because they saw that I was saying the right same thing as them. Because I said, guys, we have to let him go because as a player, right, you are a central midfielder and you prefer to play as a central midfielder. Or yes, they told you that you're too slow to play as a winger, but you played there before. You play as an attacking. He's very creative, by the way. He's a creator too. His passes you've seen for Ukraine. He knows how to pick a pass. So you're 25 years old. You've won the Premier League how many times? Almost 4 times, right? 4 times. And he's won about 4 Carabao Cups. He's won 1 FA Cup. He's won a Charity Shield. This is what people should be thinking about Jesus, because they're making fun of Jesus and Zinchenko, saying you're leaving a Champions League club to go somewhere else. But guys, they have achieved more than your players. These players have achieved more than your players. They're 25 years old. They can still win that Champions League. You never know. It's not too late. And Arsenal badge still carries a lot of weight. Whether people want to laugh or say, oh, they're in the trenches, Arsenal is still Arsenal. You guys have the best kids out
I'm
there.
not sure
You
if
guys-
if you've seen the social media recently, but then there was actually pictures of Zinchenko in an Arsenal shirt. I think it was 2011-12 season, I believe. Those are actually making the rounds there. So he was. I mean, at any point, someone would be an Arsenal fan, right? That's bound to happen.
Yeah, true. So look, like things like that. The same thing as other players. Like let's say there's a lot of kids who have. Maybe he was an Arsenal fan, but what I'm trying to say is, to answer your question simply is, people have to remember, don't take this from the team's perspective or Pep's perspective. Take it from the player himself. Yourself, you're working at work and you're a specialist in IT, and they keep putting you in on the till to do, and you're like, I want to fix computers here, I want to program stuff. Why do you keep doing this? I think himself at the age of 25, what he's achieved, Arteta promises him that, look, I might play you left back, but I can promise you more game time. I can promise you bigger games. But apparently, according to the rumors, and I hope this is true, because Zinchenko is such a lovely guy, I hope he fights for that midfield, because I hear the rumors are you'll play more games as a midfielder more than a left back. Do you get what I mean? Though I feel in my heart he'll play more as a left back, because your left back always gets injured. So I think that's what he wants. I think he wants to be able to show people that I can play as a midfielder. I am a midfielder. For Ukraine, I am the first choice central midfielder, and I have played against Portugal. I have played against big teams, and he shows up. He even played against Scotland, and some of the midfielders from Scotland are first choice. But Zinchenko was a star, wasn't he? People were like, wow, look at this kid. Obviously, Ukraine were missing a lot, but he had a lot of passes. So that's what I think. And at the end of the day, he won't play as a midfielder at City. You know yourself. And also, at the end of the day, Pep knows that this kid is not a fullback. You know what I mean? He knows he's not a fullback. How many times is he going to put him as a fullback now? At a point in time right now, believe it or not, there's an academy kid. His name is Wilson Esbrand. He played so well in our cup games and went missing because of an injury. He's 19 years old. That kid is very fast, more physical than Zinchenko, and he's a specialist as a left back. And there's rumors that the reason why we're willing to let Zinchenko go fulfill his dreams to play as a midfielder or play at a team where he'll be considered as a first choice, not as a reserve and a guy who only comes once in a while in the Champions League when everybody's injured, is because of that kid. So to answer your question, I think that's what he wants. He's 25 years old and he wants to do something else with his life, you know?
Okay, so if you were to tell me what, I mean, you've spoken a lot about his strengths as such, but if you were to talk about what his areas of improvement would be, I know one of the things which obviously Pep mentioned is the fact that he's not too fast on his wings, but then if you were to look at the player in Zinchenko and what he offers in the left back role, what are the areas that you see him improving on, or that he should?
Okay, so basically, I'm just going to mention a strength I missed from Zinchenko and then go to the weakness. One strength for Zinchenko is he doesn't lose the ball. That's what you're going to see. He never loses the ball. You can't take the ball off Zinchenko. He'll either beat you, dribble you. You saw in the Aston Villa the way he dribbled and almost made your man fall down. So he's good. He's very technical. According to some of the players in our team, they say he's the third most skilled and technical player in the team. And you know what City is. But his weakness, which I can tell you, is I think he doesn't do a lot of mistakes, but once in a while, I can even say three, that's how bad it is. 3 times, he only gets caught out. But who doesn't get caught out? I've seen Trent get caught out. I have seen Cancelo get caught out. But the only weakness is sometimes he gets caught out, let's say, but it's not very bad. He just gets caught out once in a while, but that's all I can say. That's the weakness I see for Zinchenko, because apart from that, he can win headers. I've seen him win headers. I have seen pocket Mohamed Salah, which is not easy, which is difficult. I have seen him pocket Messi, Neymar, but the weakness he has is he gets caught out, because he got caught out of position for the Havertz goal in the Champions League final against Chelsea. Then he got caught out by Benzema. He was on the wrong side of Benzema, but that's not his fault. As I say, he's not a defender, so he's an attacking player, but he's learning. Benzema obviously caught him out of position. If he was a defender, I think the probably you shield him, you hold Benzema back, so Benzema doesn't go in front of you. So that's the only thing I've seen from Zinchenko. He's only got caught up 3 times, I remember from my memory. But apart from that, for me, it's all strengths.
You mentioned quite a lot about his strengths. How much of that will be attributed to what Arteta has actually brought out in him? Obviously, the fact that Arteta was a assistant manager there at City, and I mean Jesus himself or many other players, attribute their rise in the team to what Arteta has done behind the scenes. So, how much do you think Arteta's influence would be on what Zinchenko has been doing?
I think Zinchenko, Jesus, Raheem had some of their best seasons when Arteta was there. Surprisingly enough, and I'm going to say that even though people will start saying, "Oh, so it's actually true." The time when Arteta was there, some of these people had their best seasons. Zinchenko, including, played a lot of games, improved a lot. So people said Arteta was the guy who was always at the field because he's the assistant. That's the brains come from the top, but Arteta, he has to come and implement those ideas, and they has to know how to explain them. And then when he sees somebody, he has to know how to improve them. Because Pep will talk to you one-on-one few minutes. He's the big guy, but he won't take so much time on you. You know what I mean? He'll give you your homework and he'll leave. So I think these players know. I think these players have said, don't forget that even Zinchenko, those rumors that Chelsea are trying to take him and Jesus, which the Jesus one has come out that it's true. Maybe the Zinchenko come out also. They want to take Jesus, but even Jesus in his interview said, I had the opportunity to go to a Champions League club, but I chose here because of the relationship I have with Edu and Arteta. But I think Arteta will improve these guys. And I think during his time at City, Raheem, Jesus, and Zinchenko had their best years. I think it's quite simple to see. He, I think, knew the Premier League, and then he was coaching these kids on how to perform in the Premier League. So I think the contribution of Arteta is very visible. Because funny enough, I know Cancelo came, but when Arteta was here, Zinchenko saw more minutes. When Arteta left, Zinchenko never saw more minutes. When Arteta was here, Raheem had his best seasons. When Arteta left, we were joking as City fans. You saw on Twitter, Arteta is gone. Raheem has become rubbish. So yes, I think Arteta's got a hand in all these players, and I think that's why they're all saying we're going to him and they trust him. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of the formations and all those sort of things, right? Arteta is obviously trying to adapt the same thing what Guardiola started with, obviously with lesser budget. But then how do you see him slotting into the Arsenal team? So if you were to walk into the team today, would he actually be able to, put himself on the team ahead of Tierney, for example, on the left back role?
Yeah, for me, to be honest with you, there's a reason why Pep plays Zinchenko a lot. It's when you are losing possession a lot, when you are being dominated in the middle. So let's say if a team is dominating the middle a lot and you're losing your battle in midfield, every time he looks at Zinchenko, he brings him in, he takes out the fullback. You know what I mean? Or he takes out a midfielder, sacrifice them, and then tell what's his name, Cancelo, to be bomb in front, and then he tells Zinchenko to be a left back. What Zinchenko does is he tucks into the midfield. The thing about Zinchenko is he's a midfielder and he was also playing as a left winger, so he just covers everything. But what he also knows how to do is, I don't know if Tierney knows how to do this, but I think Arteta will love this. You know how when a team is attacking a fullback, they want to make sure that they circle a fullback and then crowd him, and then they sort of dominate him, so he sort of is lost, and then they can use that as a weakness. Zinchenko did it with him, Bernardo Silva, and Raheem. They did it against Wan-Bissaka, and Wan-Bissaka went crazy. He couldn't know what's happening, but it's because Zinchenko can keep the ball, and it's in a tight space. He knows how to pass. Him and Raheem were passing in very tight spaces where the players were pressing them, but Zinchenko somehow finds a way to get out. That's what you're gonna get. I don't know if Tierney has that skill. Like where when people are flooding, you know how City floods you. Yeah. Zinchenko knows how to get the ball out of that place. Like he's got this other pass where the two players are like this. He dinks it between the two players and it goes into the other player. Or you see he takes it back and dribbles you and goes to the line, pass to the winger. And yes, he's not good at shooting. Shooting, he's not great, but the way when he gets into the edge of the box, he starts doing small passes, then passes again, runs, then passes it to somebody. He's very good at doing that. So I think that's what Arteta is looking for. He's looking for him to tuck in. If he plays him as a fullback, he knows he'll tuck in. In that way, you have flooded the midfield. Then whoever is at the back, let's talk about Gabriel or Ben White, or it be Saliba. So let's say Saliba and Gabriel, and then whoever, Tomiyasu, they'll form a three at the back. There'll be the three at the back. Zinchenko will tuck in. When he tucks in, guess what happens? You don't need Xhaka or Partey or whoever is in there to stay back. It's either Zinchenko starts helping the midfielders, or he becomes one of the two with Xhaka or Partey, and then Xhaka can be able to be flooding the middle. And then if you've got teams that are so stubborn and pack, they are like the base at the back, and then the rest are attacking. That's what Zinchenko can bring you. And
it might be coming into handy when we play City.
It's actually really, really nice to visualize what you're saying. If it happens, I would be the most happiest Arsenal fan there is.
I think it will. I think it will.
I am literally imagining what you're saying, and I'm going like, yep, that would be absolutely beautiful to watch, and it'll be something that I would love to watch Arsenal do. One more thing before we wrap things up, Patrick, right? Like the mega question, 30 million, is it worth it?
Yeah, the deal of is it 30 million plus 2 million in add-ons, or people didn't mention them as add-ons, they just said the plus 32 million. I think it's business-wise, right? I'm gonna start business-wise. Business-wise, it's the best deal you can ever get out there, because you bought somebody for 1.2 and then you're selling them for 32. It means you're getting about 30 million profit, isn't it? Who wouldn't do that? All of us would do that here. We'll grab it in a minute. A player that has been at the club ever since 2016, nobody would complain. That's the reason why some people were trying to make fun, saying, oh, you guys, this guy is a Premier League winner. Why are you selling him for 30? It's because City bought him for 1.2 million. So it's a lot of money. But if you talk about heart or the player himself, what we're losing is price. Like, you're not put a price on it. He's priceless. The heart, the passion, the fight for the team. Yes, the 30, you cannot even put a price on him. That's the reason why I told you at the beginning that City fans are crying for him and are hurt, because Pep says, in the morning when I go to the ground, other people's faces are like pissed off. He said it straightforward. People are pissed off. They'll look at you and when you look at them, they'll look the other side. But he says one player you should learn from, Zinchenko. Whether I drop him, whether he performs good, then I drop him the next game. I drop him for 3 weeks. I don't see him for 3 weeks. Next time I see him, he's smiling, laughing, ready to hug me, ready to give me a handshake, and he's still smiling and joking with everybody. But he says, while others, they will get angry at me for a whole week because I dropped them. So that's where you can say he's priceless. But for 30 million, if I was a businessman and I bought something for 1.2, I'm making so much profit. That's so much profit. That's a big profit margin. So for me, I think it's a good price, and it's a fair price. If you talk about being fair these days, that's a fair price to Arsenal, because you guys would have paid 60 for Martinez, and we never know what Martinez might become. You never know who he'll become. He's coming from the Dutch league. Yes, he might become good or bad. You never know. So you're paying 30 million for a winner, somebody who's going to bring the winning mentality, and somebody who's got so many trophies to his name at the age of 25. So that's a good price. I think it's a fair price.
You mentioned Martinez because it's important. At the moment when we know that the prices are being jacked up for Martinez, Arteta, there was a clear plan in mind that we had Zinchenko as the plan B, and obviously it would have become the plan A as well in many a times. So I mean, it was just that, you know, once Ajax started you know, jacking up the price, and then United were more getting lured in. We know what sort of a player that we want really. And if I were to be very honest with you, if both of them were made available at the same time, then I would have straight away gone for Zinchenko, because he's a player, just like how the Ten Hag factor was important in Martinez. The Arteta factor is very crucial in us getting Zinchenko.
One last question, Patrick. I know this is going to be controversial, but last season you guys went for Ronaldo, and seems like Cristiano is available right now in the market. Would you think City would go for him again?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the funny thing, right? Because a lot of people say we went for Ronaldo. I don't know what it was. I think his agent offered him to City because City were in desperate need of a striker. But City told the agent, according to one of the City reporters, City told the agent that we want to get him for free. If only he's free. If he's free and this is the payment he wants, he's gonna get less than De Bruyne. He's gonna get less than him. Then he can come. But apparently Ronaldo said, "Yes, I'm coming there." That's when you know what happened. People say panicking. The big boys from Man United, hello, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Ferguson, Leo, everybody were pissed off. Funny thing is, now I laugh at them because now they don't. According to rumors, he was offered to City again this time, and City said, "Nah, we have no space." But
you've got Alvarez and Haaland, so yeah, why would you want to get Ronaldo now?
Yeah, but it's a strange story. I don't know if we'll ever know exactly, but I 100% believe that the agent offered him, because I doubt City sat there and said, because City said they started working on Haaland immediately after the Harry Kane thing went down, where Daniel Levy wasn't answering the call. I think people never know that side of the story, that Pep said it because Pep wanted Harry Kane, and this was the first time Pep was saying it openly. I was like, how is Pep? Because every time you talk to Pep about Ronaldo or another player, Sanchez, remember, he used to say, I don't want to talk about Sanchez. He's not my player. But he wanted Harry Kane, you can tell, because he went to the press and he was so angry, saying, some of us, we want that striker, and somebody, Daniel Levy is not answering the call. He actually named him. Daniel Levy is not answering the call. We want Harry Kane, we like him, but Daniel Levy is holding him hostage. He's not answering the call. So immediately, apparently, City started looking for Haaland. They spoke to Pep that, look, there's Haaland. Do you want Haaland? They started working on Haaland. So I'm surprised that would have they signed Ronaldo maybe for that season and told him go, or was Ronaldo's gonna be there and Haaland comes there? I don't know. There's a lot of things that don't add up in that story, because when I first heard it, it was too good to be true. It was too good to be true. I was like, is he willing? Is like Ronaldo willing to destroy the legacy he has at Man United to come to City?
Wait for a month more. He'll do that now this season.
Yeah. Do you know what I think though, Bob? That's because this is a good question. You know what I think? I think his agent played around with City purposely, or just went and started playing around with the name Man City to get Man United to panic. I think he wanted them to panic, and then because he knew that they will panic, they will not let it go. I think he knew that their pride what. I think City actually told them, like, one of those things you say, do you want this? I was like, yeah, and if you have the price, I'll take it. I think City only told him, if your client comes in for free, Juventus give him for free, we'll consider it. And maybe he then told to the newspapers that they want him. And then, because it's a masterclass if you think about it, immediately I heard Ronaldo is going back to United. So that's what I think happened. That's just my opinion. But right now, I wouldn't have him. Nobody wants him. Would you want him at Arsenal?
No way. We've had our own troubles with high wage,
Obama young and Ozil,
over the 30 years old age. So I don't want him or anyone in that age bracket to come. Not even Messi. And I love Messi so much, but not even Messi. So thank you, Patrick. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing discussion with you, and hopefully we will have you more. And for anyone who's listening still now, like, do follow Patrick, and for us, do comment in anything that you want Patrick to answer or us to answer. So we would relay the information, and we'll bring Patrick again if you want him to answer some of the questions about Arteta's tactics, because he's our tactics guy. So we'll get him in. as much as we can.
No, it's a pleasure. And if VJ and Bob, if you guys ever get the time, we can arrange a time when you can come in and you come on my channel also and feature. I'm pretty sure we'll find a way, even if we have to record it or go live. And in that way, you guys can also, because where are you guys from?
So I'm from Sydney, Australia.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm in Vancouver, Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. We can try to work out. Oh my God, you've you've got different times. We can work out the time and do a show. And look, guys who are watching, man, subscribe to these guys, man. Support them. Support them. This YouTube thing is a hassle, guys. It's a nightmare. But support them, man. They're doing very well. Friendly guys, always with a smile. I can see they've smiled from the beginning. Some people are sour when you come on that channel. They're like, do you want me on your channel? So subscribe to the guys, man. And I hope you guys keep going on. And look, this is the start of a good relationship. As I said, for me, as soon as I meet people, my door is always open, and I will always text you and say, guys, do you want to jump on? We have a preview for Man City versus Arsenal. If we have to record it, pre-record it, we can do that. I'm pretty sure we can organize.
Awesome.
So thank you for having me. It's a pleasure that you guys had me here, please.
Awesome. Thanks, Patrick. And thank you everyone for listening. And we'll meet you on the next, after we announce the signing of Zinchenko. Bye, everyone.
Bye.